All right, everyone. Welcome to the Tonto's Demise Week 15 recap. We only got two matchups we got to talk about because we only had two matchups that anybody cared about. And unfortunately, just like last week, it was much ado about nothing as these matchups were not really close at all. One was just a straight up blowout, and the other, perhaps some injury-related issues, holding somebody back. But yeah, just wasn't meant to be. And let's take for the final time in 2022, we will start with the defending champion, Shawshank Athletics, who goes down in defeat. He will not be repeating as champion this year. The pot is safe. It's up to, I think, $460 now. It would be $360, except Gags made a generous $100 donation the year that he did not win the championship. I believe when I beat him in the Tonto Bowl, he said, I either want it all or I want nothing. So put my winnings into the back-to-back championship pool, which is what we did. So that's why there's an extra $100 there, in case you guys were wondering. Tell Gags, thank you. Anyway, he won't be able to do that again this year, though. All right, Shawshank, trying to defend his title, runs into Ed Lager, who scores 191.6 to Shawshank's 166.65. All right, let's take a look at what happened here. The big one is Jonathan Taylor went out early in this game. He only scored 2.3 in a game where the Colts were up, as we all know, I'm sure at this point, 33-0 at halftime. So there was plenty of scoring and opportunities aplenty for Jonathan Taylor had he not gotten injured. Excuse me, early in this game. Josh, but you still lost. Let's see, you lost by 25. So you would have needed 27.5 from Jonathan Taylor. Definitely a doable performance from him. Said Minnesota, and obviously, if he stays healthy in that game, does that change things for the matchup otherwise? I don't know. Impossible to say. Ed has a couple Vikings on his team who were the beneficiaries of that comeback. Anyway, let's take a look at Ed. He had Patrick Mahomes actually go for the other big factor in this matchup. Patrick Mahomes goes off for 75 points this week. Diggs, 10.5. T. Higgins, 16.5. Thielen, 13. Dalvin Cook, 27. Swift, 12.5. Njoku, 6. I don't even know this guy's first name. Chris Moore from the Houston Texans in the flex goes for 8.2. Carlson, your kicker, goes for about 7.5. And then your Ravens defense, Yahoo says 9. Looks like we bumped you up to about 15 there, Ed. But yeah, you were definitely carried by Patrick Mahomes this week. You're welcome. And Dalvin Cook. Yes, some consistent numbers there. But for Josh, Herbert only goes for 41 points there. Couple interceptions. I don't think he had any touchdowns in this game. Surprisingly, kind of low-scoring game. Let's see. Wilson goes for 14. Scary Terry, 13. Juju, 17. Derrick Henry goes for 29. Good game from him. Again, Jonathan Taylor going down early. Only 2.3. Cole Kmet, 6.5. Najee gets you 14.5. Your kicker was Badgley from the Lions. I'm not sure I thought at the beginning of the year, much like Geno Smith playing quarterback, starting quarterback, that a Lions kicker would be in somebody's starting lineup, but he is. And he got you about 8 points. And then the Chiefs defense Too little, too late. Yahoo says 7. You got a decent bump from them. Looks like up to about 15, maybe 20, 22 points or so from your defense. Just wasn't meant to be this week, Josh. That Herbert had a pretty good situation, underperformed. Good stats, except for what can you do? No touchdowns, only interceptions. So Dalvin and Derrick Henry basically canceled each other out. It was just Mahomes popping off here this week and Taylor going down. That was really just the difference. Unfortunately, Josh, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Only one of us ends the season happy, as we all know. So that is it. Ed Logger will move on, and Shawshank will go home. And then we had the Dub C Hooligans versus Gags to Riches. Previously mentioned him, that he won't be repeating his giving the money away this year because he will not be making another Tonto Bowl. Perhaps Dub C Hooligans, who have not sniffed the Tonto Bowl in quite a long time, getting pretty close that he can probably smell it at this point. He blows out Gags to Riches, 197.9 to 107 exactly. So a 90.9 victory for Dub C. And this one was never really in doubt. Thursday night, Geno Smith put up a pretty serviceable score here for you. Thanks to 31 completions, 48.5 points. Also in that game, CMC went for 29. I believe, is that everybody you had in that game? So that you were off to a very comfortable start. Justin Jefferson did what he should do for you. So your two big guns, Jefferson and CMC, came through. 30.3 for him. Fortunately, because the rest of your team didn't do a whole lot, Kevin. Palmer goes for 10. Lazard only goes for 2. Stevenson did go off for 170 yards and a touchdown. 28 points from him. But then Everett only 8. Pacheco only 8. Koo about 3.5. But then you did have the Cleveland Browns defense. Actually did okay for you. Yahoo says 21. Looks like you got about a 6-point bump, maybe 8, maybe 9 to 30. It was either 27 or 30. It doesn't really matter because this matchup was, like I said, unfortunately for you Gags, never in doubt. Let's see. I thought Kevin had lined up all the defenses playing the Houston Texans for the playoffs, but I guess he changed his mind. Went with Cleveland this week. Let's see, for Gags, Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray was gone last week, so your expectations were pretty low going into this matchup. Kind of surprised that you didn't use your Patriots defense. You went with Carolina's defense against Pittsburgh. You had to go with Daniel Jones. He got you 33. D-Hop gets you 13. Keenan gets you 16.5. Metcalf, 12.5. Miles Sanders, only 2 points. That's got to hurt. Mixon, 10.5. Hawkinson, 8. Zonovan Knight, I believe his name is. 2.5 points. Bass, your kicker, goes for about 5.5. And again, the Carolina Panthers defense, I believe the score on Yahoo was actually correct. 4 points. Gags, what can we say about this one? A lot of bad matchups. A lot of just underperformance up and down your roster this week. Said Zay Jones had 35 on your bench. Patriots defense, even though they ended up losing the game, did score a touchdown, had a couple turnovers. Probably would have been a better play than the Carolina Panthers defense. Other than that, really, there was not much that you could do. You needed your guys to come through. Hopkins not able to do it. I don't even know who the quarterback was in that game. I think Colt McCoy got hurt. I really, honestly didn't pay too much attention to what happened until later, after the games were over. Gags, sorry, just not the just same as Josh. Only one of us is going to end the season happy, and unfortunately, uh, Gags, you will not be getting ring number 4 this year, I believe it would be. But Dub C looking for ring number 3. He has been shut out of the. I don't know if he's been. I'm not sure. Kevin has even. Have you been in the Tonto Bowl since you won your back-to-back titles? I want to say no. I don't think that you have even made the Tonto Bowl. So Dub C, if you win, maybe was it some kind of home cooking, some kind of spell you cast on us, having the draft at your home? That way, even though it was Josh's idea, Josh, why would you do that? Giving him the home field advantage instead of yourself, and see where it got us now. Anyway, but anyway, so Dub C, still rooting for Ed. Gonna be still rooting for Ed so far, but I guess since Dub C has been so long since you had anything, even made it to the Tonto Bowl, you're my number 2 rooting for, I guess. I guess number 3 would be Jim. Obviously, number 4 would be Detling. Sorry, guys. Anyway, that's it. What do we got? Week 16. 4 teams left. We've got Yinzer Jags. He gets the lowest remaining seed. That is Ed Lager. They'll be going up against each other. And Biscuits versus Dub C. So we've got a West team versus an East team in both matchups here. All right, Yinzer Jags versus Ed Lager. Let's take a quick peek. Ed Lager, currently a heavy favorite. According to Yahoo, Detling's got... this one won't be decided until Monday night because Detling has the Chargers defense against the Colts. That could be a pretty juicy matchup there. Otherwise, I mean, you traded for Waller, but you still got him on the bench. I'm not sure what's going to go on there. For Detling's team, he's got Driscoll in at tight end, who I don't know if he's also a QB if they're using him in a similar way to Taysom Hill. You got Walker. He should be back from his injury. Looks like he did not practice today, so we will see what happens. Going to be hoping for him to come back. Tough matchup at Kansas City for him. Josh Allen at Chicago. He's got a Q next to his name. Let's see. For Ed, he's got Mahomes versus Seattle. That's pretty good. He's got DJ Chark in the flex. Don't know how I feel about that. So you got Jamal Williams on the bench. Not too much. Bench-wise, you guys don't really have too much going on that you could possibly change, I think. So Detling's got Gabe Davis on the bench. David Montgomery on the bench versus Buffalo's defense. So what do I think? What do we think is going to happen here? Well, just taking a look at all the matchups here. I am going to. I don't like Chark. I'm not really too keen on Chark being in the flex there. Not too keen on Njoku as your tight end. You don't really have. I don't know if you have any other options. Higbee. I mean, Mayfield seemed to be looking for Higbee a little bit versus Denver's defense. That's kind of tough. Baltimore defense versus Atlanta. That could be okay. Man. Saquon and Dalvin, both in the same game, playing each other in Minnesota and the Giants. I think Ed is going to win this. if Detling has a chance in this matchup, he really needs Josh Allen to go off, and he needs Kenneth Walker. That's a tough matchup going in anyway. So Dalvin versus Saquon could probably balance each other out. T. Higgins, he's got another Q next to his name, but I think he played and was fine last week. Same old injury. I think they've been just monitoring his practice reps through. I think it's going to come. I don't know what the weather is going to be like. They're playing in Cleveland. I think this matchup is going to come down to whether or not Amari Cooper has one of his big Amari Cooper games, or if Amari Cooper has one of his bust games where he does little to nothing at all. Yeah. I think this game is going to hinge on whether or not Amari Cooper shows up and carries Detling's team over the finish line here. Like I said though, Monday, the Chargers defense it is at Indianapolis. Obviously no Jonathan Taylor. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. They were able to put up 30-some points against the Vikings last week without Jonathan Taylor. So Ed should have a pretty significant lead. All these games, I'm just now realizing basically everybody. Well, Ed's entire team plays on Saturday, Christmas Eve, and Detling's got Godwin on Sunday, Watson on Sunday, Saturday, Mostert on Sunday. So Detling's team is all over the place. Ed's team will be done and on Saturday night, so we will know going into Christmas what Detling's team is gonna have to do there on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, unless Josh Allen goes bonkers and puts up like a 70, 80-point score, and Amari Cooper has one of his like 30, 35-point blowups, I think this game is going to go in favor of Ed Lager. And then we got Dub C versus Biscuits and Porn. Sorry, Yahoo's got to catch up here. Yahoo's projection right now, almost dead even. Let's take a look, see what we got, what we like, what we don't like here in these matchups real quick. Let the other guys do. Has Detling retired from the podcast? I feel like he hasn't even been on. Let's see. Dub C, Saturday. He's got guys on Monday night there, Everett and Palmer for the Chargers. Any Mondays here for Biscuits? He's got Eckler. That could be pretty good for you. Sunday night, he's got Tom Brady. So yeah, you guys actually have a pretty good mix of Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here. All right, so let's take a look. You got Cincinnati defense at New England in Jim. Not sure how I feel about that. Denver defense against the Rams. I kind of like that more, probably, even though they might not win the game. Baker Mayfield really just doesn't look like he is going to do much at all. That's a tough one because they're both on the road. Cincinnati versus Denver. Really, Denver, they've been one of the best defenses in the league. I don't know if you're looking for turnovers or what's going on. Kind of a coin flip. Probably personal preference there, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to say what you should do, influence anybody's decisions here. Matchup wise, let's see. Tom Brady, I think that's your only quarterback. You're not going to start Tannehill. Hard to imagine Arizona putting up a huge fight. So without Murray, They might be without Colt McCoy. Not even sure who their quarterback might be. Let's see. Brian Robinson versus San Fran. Don't really like that. It's really, I think it's going to be the same as last week for Dub C. You need your big guns to come through again. McCaffrey, Washington's defense is not horrible. Can Justin Jefferson get another 30? McCaffrey another 30? Geno Smith at Kansas City. Another game, don't really care for that. But overall, so now Dub C's got Tennessee defense at home against Houston there. Man, this is a tough one. Because it all really comes down to, will Dub C's big guns go off? If they don't, Biscuits should take this one down. His receivers all have pretty decent matchups. It's just big question mark for me is Tom Brady. Again, I'm not sure if he's going to have to do a whole lot in that game. Geno Smith. I'm going to go with Biscuits and Porn. That's going to be my choice. Both East Pennsylvania teams picking them this week. Don't like it. Said Dub C. You got what you needed last week. Said outside of your big guns, you're not really bringing a lot that scares me to the table. So overall, Biscuits I think has a more solid roster from top to bottom. But like I said, you got one of the number one top wide receivers. You got one of the best running backs. You need everybody to come through if you want to win this matchup. Geno Smith should be okay. He should be throwing a lot in this game. But it's going to come down. Will be interesting because it's going to come down to Monday night. Dub C's got a receiver and a tight end, while Biscuits has Eckler. So that'll make it pretty interesting to watch. So Jim will be flying home from Florida Monday afternoon, hopefully getting home in time to watch the Monday night game there. And I'm going to pick Biscuits, but I am not comfortable with it. Kevin, you got what you needed last week. I'm just not sure that your big guns are going to be able to do quite as well and carry you through again one more time. If your other guys, they just said they need to overperform for you to get this matchup. Tennessee defense versus Houston, I mean, could be pretty good. That's where you could I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this matchup's really going to swing on whether Dub C's, again, his big guns show up or not and carry him through, which would be Geno, Jefferson, CMC, Stevenson, and your Tennessee defense. Houston hasn't been a pushover. They've been playing okay, so it's going to not maybe temper your expectations for Tennessee's defense. I said I don't care for Cincinnati defense. Not great. So just the matchups aren't great for Biscuits, but I think he's going to end up. It's going to be close, I think, but he's going to end up pulling it out. So that would make it a Biscuits versus Ed Tonto Bowl. Would be interesting to see. A Dub C versus Ed would also be interesting to see. Two guys, one guy with no ring, and the other guy who hasn't had one in a really long time. So anyway, all right. That's all I got. That's all we got for week 15. Week 16. My picks are Biscuits and Ed Lager, an East Coast Tonto Bowl. Anyway, so I just now realized that I don't think I've updated our Facebook page with the matchups all year long. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go back here when I get back from Florida, leaving tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to that. Have to go through every week and screen cap all those matchups and get when I get some free time, go back and do all that. Catch up on. I completely forgot, honestly, that we even have a Facebook page. Just kind of, as you all know, just kind of tuned out most of this season. Anyway, so all right. Kevin, Jim, Detling, Ed, good luck to all of you in the Tonto's semifinals. May all of your players meet or exceed expectations. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody has fun. And we come back here to see next week, after Christmas, who is going to be playing in Tonto Bowl XX. Tonto Bowl 20. All right. Oh, before I forget, Kevin, I think your dog just took a shit right over there. Probably should clean that up before Christmas. Surprise in the morning for somebody. All right. Thanks for listening, watching, or whatever it is you do. I will be tuning out, watching. It's me, Jim, Sally, and the kids are all going to be in Florida for Christmas there, so I will get to enjoy watching Jim stress out on Christmas Day, checking his phone all the time. Seeing what is going to go on, if he will be Tonto Bowl bound or not. I should say real quick while I've got the my kind of just keep my thing here next to me on the desk. Just a little reminder once again that we have not had a Tonto Bowl featuring the 1 and 2 seeds since 2011. So that one of you, Biscuits, Yins or Jags, who's going to get the Romo jersey? One of you? Both of you? I think it would definitely, if you both go out this week, it's got to be Detling. He's been in first place pretty much the entire season. But yeah, it has been over 10 years now since the Tonto Bowl has featured both the 1 and 2 seeds. Pretty interesting how that ends up working out quite a bit. Anyway, maybe I'm the only person who finds that interesting. Hopefully, at least some of you do. I'm not sure anybody is going to actually, maybe like one person is going to actually hear this. Excuse me. Anyway, all right. I said goodbye already. Gotta say it again. Keep on rambling as I am wont to do. All right, guys. Have a great holiday. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or you don't celebrate anything at all. I don't think anybody really celebrates anything other than Christmas in the group here. Or if you just don't even care. Hope you're all of you and your families all have a wonderful Christmas holiday. Enjoy it. Week up, and then will be New Year's. It's going to be 2023 before we even know it. And yeah, the Tonto Bowl will be. I think New Year's Day is a Sunday, so technically the Tonto Bowl will be decided next year. All right. Again, shut the fuck up, man. I don't say anything. For someone who never talks, I guess, it's ironic that I can't find myself to get myself to stop talking. All right, guys. Have a great holiday. We'll see you back here next week to see who makes Tonto Bowl XX20. Yeah. Thanks for listening, watching, or whatever it is you do. And we will see you back here next week. Said, much love to all your friends and family. My friends and your families on this holiday season. I hope everyone enjoys themselves and everything goes great. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks.